In the previous program we created, we come across a particular type of data type that we call integer. However, integer is not the only data type that we have in C programming. There are other data types that we are going to come across in the course of writing our C programs. So in this lecture, we are going to take a look at those data types. So basically, we have what we call primary data types in C, and there are five of these data types in C. There are five of those data types that we have in C, what we call primary data types, and they are the character data type, which is represented by char, char, which is denoted by char, char. An example of such character data type, we may have the character A, which will be in both uppercase or lowercase, and the character 1 and 2, and many other examples. And for the integer, it's used to denote an integer type, a whole number, just as we have seen in the integer data type in the addition program that we created. And such examples, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and many other whole numbers, integer data types. So other types of integer, other types of data types that we may have, we have the float and the double. So float and double are used to represent a number with a decimal fraction. Such numbers like 2.45, 6.78, 2.39 are called floating point data types. So in this table, table 1, we have the character data types, the storage size, and the value range. So we have for char, which is represented by 1 byte, and it could be the value range could range from -128, -128, to +127, or 0 to 255, depending on the type of the character, which we can see below. We have the unsigned character and then the signed character. So for the unsigned character, is represented by 1 byte, meaning 8-bit, and the value range is 0 to 255. And then we have the signed character, which represented with the storage size is 1 byte, and the value range is -128 to 127. The next, we have the integer data types, which is represented by which is of type int. The first one is of type int, and we have the storage size is either 2 or 4 byte, and that is depending on the machine that we are using. It could either be stored as a 2 or 4 byte. The value range could be -32, that's 2,768 to 2,767, depending on the type, or 2,147,483,648 to 2,147,483,647. So for the unsigned int, the first one is int in general. So we have several types of int, and the first one is the unsigned int. That is the one without any that is the strictly positive integer data types, that is unsigned. So it's also the storage size is 2 or 4 byte, and the value range from 0 to 65535, or 0 to 4294967 And then we have the short, which is represented storage size is 2 bytes, and the value range is -32768 to 32767. And then we have the unsigned short, which is 0, that is the storage size is 2 bytes, and the value range is from 0 to 65535. And then we have the long, whose storage size is 8 bytes or 4 bytes for that 2-bit operating systems. And we can see the value range there. And then we have the unsigned long, whose storage size is 8 bytes, and the value range is from 0 to 184467 up to the end. Then we have the floating point data types. We have the float, which represented the storage size is 4 bytes, and the value range is 1.2 raised to the power of exponential -338 to 3.4 exponential +38, 6 decimal places. And also for the double and the long double, we can see the storage size, the value range, and the precision. Precision means the degree of accuracy. float is represented by 6 decimal places, double by 50 decimal places, and long double by 19 decimal places. Then we also we have what we call a void data type. Now void is an excuse me, void is an incomplete type. It means nothing or no type, and we can think of void as absent. We cannot create variables of void type. It is used in three kind of situations. Function return as void. So when we create a function, we'll subsequently learn how to create functions. But we have started using function like the function main that we have created in the first two programs that we created. So function main is one function in C. There are, however, user-defined functions that we as users, as programmers, can create by ourselves. Now, function return as void. When we specify void as the return type of our function, it means that it means that our function is not going to return anything after executing its task. That function is not going to return anything. So a function with no return type has the return type as void. An example is void exit, then int status. So this is a function definition, and the name of the function is exit, and we have specified the return type as void, meaning that it's not going to return anything. And then we have the parameter as status, which is of type integer. Next, we have function argument as void, just as we have seen in the while defining function main. Int main void. We usually specify the parameter as void, meaning that we're not going to pass any value to it. So if a function with no parameter can accept a void, just like function main, which is necessary for any C program to get running. So another example is int rand void. So function rand, it has a return type of int. However, it doesn't need any argument. When we invoke it, when we call it, we don't need to pass any argument to it. So that is why we within the in the function definition, we specify the parameter as void. And then another one is pointers to void. So we haven't come to pointers. When we come to pointers, we'll go over this to show the use of this void in pointers. So thank you.